Hey guys, welcome to a short episode of how to get started surf fishing. This is basically going to be 3.5. It's going to teach you how to tie the big fish rig that I went over in the last video. So the first thing you're going to need is hooks. I've got a 4/0 hook and a 8/0 hook. These are both Gamakatsu offset circle hooks. Then you need some slip sinker rigs, tie-on things. I don't know. Look for these, find them, buy them. You're going to need some beads, some crimps, and some barrel swivels. These are 350-pound barrel swivels. I would highly suggest going something bigger than 100 pounds. I don't know why, I just like those, and they're heavy, so they won't break. I've also got some wires, or some pliers here, not wire, pliers for crimping down the crimps. Some scissors that actually don't work, so I'll probably be using my wire snips instead. They're a little bit of an overkill, but you know, it's all right. First thing you're gonna do is tie your knot. This line is actually frayed. I don't know if you guys can actually see that, but this line has damage on it. Look for that. Don't use that. That makes a weak knot, and you don't want a weak knot because then your rig could fail. So the first thing you're going to do is tie an improved cinch knot. I'm going to make two rigs. This rig is going to teach you how to make the one that you tie as opposed to the one that you crimp down. The reason being is because crimps are expensive, and I don't have an actual crimper. I just use pliers, which isn't really what you're supposed to do, but you know, we do it anyways. So first thing you're going to do is make an improved cinch knot on the hook itself. Make sure you get that down nice and tight. A lot of people say, you know, don't use this knot, it's a bad knot, blah, blah, blah. I've never, ever, ever had this knot break. Ever. I think people are just tying it wrong, honestly. Snip your tag in. I leave a little bit just in case it does slip just a little, so it's got a little bit of room so it doesn't pull out. Then pull out your line to about how far you want your first leader to be. So I want mine to be about that far. So I'm going to go from the first point, and we'll go a little bit longer because don't forget we have to tie in another improved cinch knot, which takes a little bit of line. So I'm going to cut that a little longer than I intend to. Right there. Save this line, you'll be using it later. Get your barrel swivel. Tie that onto here. And then same thing. Do an improved cinch knot. You can go over as many times as you want. I don't really have a set amount of times I go over. I just go until I think it looks good. 4, 5, 6, whatever, right around there. Tie off your knot. All right, so this is the beginning of the rig right here. You got your line, you got a barrel swivel. That's it. Next thing you're going to do, you're going to take that line that you had before, all right? You're going to do the same thing. You're going to tie here, tie an improved cinch knot. Oops. There we go. Actually, is that going to be enough line? That might not be enough line. I'm going to get some more real quick. That's the best thing about line, especially buying it in bulk like I showed you guys in the last video. I don't actually buy leader material. This is Zebco 50-pound, 150 yards for like $1.50. So, or not $1.50. I'm sorry, like $1 after taxes. Again, pull that knot tight at the bottom. It really doesn't matter. If you guys want to crimp it, you can crimp it. If you want to tie it, you can tie it. Whatever works. I don't think, you know, crimping might be a little better, but like I said, crimping is kind of expensive, and I don't have that kind of money. If I bought crimps every single time I made a rig, because rigs are expensive and you lose them. All right, so after you tie the line onto the barrel here, you're going to want to take your bead and put it down so that it's next to the swivel, just like that. Next thing you're going to do is take your slip sinker attachment thing, slide that down next. Then another bead. So the pattern for the sinker portion is bead, sinker, bead. Then you're going to take the next barrel swivel, go to however long you want the portion of the slips or sinker to be, and then once again cut that in half a little bit. It's kind of hard to handle. Tie an improved cinch knot. And then tag end. Okay, so there's your completed rig. Let me get that in frame. There we go. So you've got your hook leading to a barrel swivel, and then you've got your slip sinker portion that will slide freely, going to a barrel swivel, and then this is what you'll tie your line to from your rod, your main line, like your actual fishing line. This rig can be used off the beach, the intercoastal, whatever you want to do. So that's how you do the first one. Let me put that in my rig box there. All right, so for the second one, I use a stronger line. I actually use 100-pound line, and the reason I do that is because this is what I typically use for sharks. So that other stuff was 50-pound line, this is a 100-pound line. 100-pound line is very difficult to tie improved cinch knots, really any kind of knot with, because it's so strong and so malleable. So this is why I use cinches or crimps with this. So first thing you do, put the line through one side of the crimp, through your hook, back through your line. Pull that bad boy. You don't want it super tight. That's about where I put mine. It's about how much space I leave. And then because I don't have a crimper, you got to hold your line on either side of it, just like that. So you got to hold your line, and then I just take my pliers, put it down past the ridge part, and just squeeze that bad boy. Flip the side, squeeze. Just like that, and now that's not coming out. That's, you know, you can see it's oh wait, actually it did slip a little bit there, so that's why it's a good thing I tested it. Yep, yeah, it's slipping, so I obviously need to go a little bit tighter. See, there you go. Not everything's perfect. This is also why you need a real crimper. Let me make sure I get that down nice and tight. I'm gonna do the other side just to double check. There we go, that's not going nowhere. So there you go, that's why you check. You can snip that tag line. I usually leave it there, doesn't really matter. Same thing, cut it up as long as you want your front portion to be. I'm gonna have my front portion be about yay long. Another crimp. Another barrel swivel. And then we're going to go right here. Second verse, same as the first. Leave you a little bit of room, and then crimp that bad boy down. I have no idea what pound these crimps are, so don't ask me. I just bought them because they looked big, and they looked sturdy. Make sure I get that nice and tight. I'm sure with an actual crimper this is much, much easier, and I'm sure at some point in the future I will invest in it because I'm going to be targeting larger and larger sharks, but for now, that will work. I'm gonna snip that just a bit. There we go. All right, cool. So that's the first portion. Same thing. Oops, crimp. Barrel swivel. Go. So we're going to try to, like I said, do this on both sides. Make sure you get nice and tight and all of it. Give it a good tug. Make sure it's not coming off. There we go. That one's a little longer, so again, I'm going to snip that one. Good to go. And then same order as before. Bead. Slip sinker portion. Bead. There you go. There's that. So the bead actually hits the slip. Oops, there it goes. Bead actually hits the slip sinker portion. All right, and then choose as long as you want it. Make ours about yay long, and then crimp. Barrel swivel. And crimp. Squeeze down, 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 and then really tighten them back. Alrighty, and there you go. Snip your tag in, and you're good to go. Okay, so there's a portion. So the reason I don't do this is because, or I don't do it often, I should say, is because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 crimps there, and usually buy them in packs of 10. So out of a 10 pack, you can get 2 rigs. Of course, if you buy, 2 packs, then you get 3 rigs, or wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rigs. So anyways, that's why I don't do that often, but I often, I don't particularly lose these all the time because they're pretty strong, but there you go. There's the rigs, there's the shark rigs. That's a time. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments below. See you guys later.